welcome to Kayla's World. I'm Kayla Canoe, aspiring author, and today I'm going to be talking about my read-through of the first draft of my novel. So if you watched my previous video, you'll see that I finished the first draft of my manuscript about a week ago, and so I spent the last week reading through it, and I'm gonna kind of go through some things that I noticed while doing this read-through. I guess I'll start out by saying that I wrote my manuscript in Microsoft Word, and I actually have a different document for each of the chapters. So instead of having one long, huge document, I have like 25 different documents with their own chapter in each. And so I had to actually sit there and do the math and calculate how many words it was. So my first draft was roughly 57,000 words. So it's a little shorter than I thought it was going to be, but there's reasons for that. So one of the things that I notice a lot in my writing is ing words. There are lots of ing words, so I'm gonna have to get rid of those when I go back through. And I am also a big fan of the word seemed, or seems, or seem. And it's funny because I kind of wrote, I wrote my draft in a couple different time frames, and so the first part of the manuscript there's a lot of using the word seem, and then the last few chapters there's no use of that word at all. It's like I realized what I was doing and just stopped doing it. Another thing that I noticed in this draft is that for at least the first several chapters, my pacing is so fast. It was like there was no introduction to the characters in their Act 1 world, and I was just straight into the inciting incident, and it was just go, 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 all these things. So it was going way too fast, and I was lacking descriptions, which is why it's so short, because I just wanted to get it out there, wanted to get it through. So when I go back through, I'm gonna have to add description to all kinds of things, which is gonna make the novel significantly longer, because I definitely briefly went through a lot of those things. And then another thing I found that I apparently struggle with is character consistency, because I am writing from 3 different perspectives, and there were places that I read through where I was reading it from one character's perspective and they were thinking thoughts that I was like, oh man, that's totally the other character. The other character would think those thoughts, not this character. And so I was taking little notes, little comments in my Word document, this is the wrong character, this needs to be rephrased. So having the 3 perspectives is definitely gonna be a challenge on making sure I get those separated, and that I'm not stuck in one character's mindset and letting that bleed into the other chapters. Along with that too, I found that fact consistency was a problem. There was one specific point in my novel where one of my characters said something where she was like, oh, I was warned about this. And funny story, she was never warned about that. It didn't exist in the previous chapter. So she was making a reference to something that never happened. So obviously I'm going to have to add that back in. But yeah, so, and then a lot of inconsistencies. Definitely realized that my plot is suffering, especially in the midsection, so I'm gonna have to add some scenes, rearrange some things, kind of develop things a little bit more. But overall, I mean, it was fun to read through it. It was interesting to see those things that stood out, like the fact consistency, where I was like, oh man, that was super dumb, how did I do that? And that's just because, I wrote the chapters on different days and I maybe thought that I referenced it and I didn't. Or it's I know the information, but I didn't write the information down. And then there was also really good moments where I read something and I was like, yes, that's the perfect interaction between those 2 characters. It nailed how the one character behaves, and it nailed how the other character would respond to it. So it was definitely interesting. It's gonna be a lot more work than maybe I thought it was gonna be going through, but maybe not. because I kind of expected it to be a little bit of a train wreck. But yeah, so that's kind of how my read through went. Don't know if this will help anybody out, but I thought it was fun. So, you know, if you're doing a read through of your manuscript and you want to share, I'd love to hear about it. I think it's really fun to look at what you've read and kind of, you know, see what your writing habits are, whether it's a use of a specific word or, you know, not including enough description or leaving out significant details. But yeah, so that's really all that I have for you guys today. If you liked this video, let me know by commenting below, giving me a thumbs up, or subscribing to my channel. I put out new videos on Sundays. Thanks you guys for watching, and I hope you enjoyed your time here in Kayla's World.